What if I told you that the greatest football story ever written could end in the most heartbreaking way imaginable? Not with a trophy, not with a fairy tale, not with millions chanting his name, but with silence. Because in 2022, the world saw perfection. The little boy from Rosario completed football. He lifted the World Cup. He conquered every trophy. He settled the GOAT debate for millions. And for a moment, it felt like the perfect ending. But here's the brutal reality nobody wants to hear. Football doesn't care about fairy tales. Football doesn't care about happy endings. And FIFA 2026 could become the tournament that reminds everyone of that. Today, we're diving deep into why Lionel Messi's final World Cup journey could end in heartbreak, and why the signs are already there.
Almost all of them fail. The pressure is different. The expectations are different. The hunger is different. In 2022, Argentina had something special. A united squad. Every player was willing to die for the badge. Every player was willing to suffer. Every player wanted to give him his moment. That emotional fuel pushed them through impossible situations.
They survived penalties. They survived comebacks. They survived pressure. But can lightning strike twice?
History says no. And that's the first warning sign.
This is the uncomfortable conversation nobody likes having. Messi is a genius. Messi is a legend. Messi is arguably the greatest footballer ever. But Messi is also human. By FIFA 2026, he'll be 39 years old. Think about that for a second. 39. Most footballers are retired. Most footballers are coaching. Most footballers are sitting in TV studios analyzing games. Yet people expect Messi to dominate the biggest tournament in sports. That expectation is insane. Even for him, the truth is brutal. Aging catches everyone. Speed declines. Recovery slows. Explosiveness disappears. The body simply cannot do what it once could. And World Cups are physically brutal. Multiple high-intensity matches. Travel. Pressure. Extra time. Penalties. Knockout football. At 39, every minute becomes harder. Back in 2022, Argentina surprised many people. They weren't the biggest favorites. But now, everybody knows exactly how dangerous they are. Every coach studies them. Every analyst dissects them. Every opponent prepares specifically for them. That's the curse of being champions. Nobody overlooks you anymore. Nobody underestimates you anymore. Nobody gives you space. In 2026, every team facing Argentina will treat it like a final. Because beating the champions means everything. And beating Messi? That's a career-defining moment. Every defender wants that story. Every goalkeeper wants that headline. Every nation wants that upset. The target on Argentina's back has never been bigger. Let's be honest. Part of Argentina's 2022 victory wasn't tactical. It wasn't physical. It was emotional. The entire football world was watching Messi's final chance. There was a sense of destiny, a sense of purpose, a sense that something special was happening. The squad fed off that energy. The fans fed off that energy. Messi fed off that energy. But in 2026, that story no longer exists. Messi already completed football. The mission is over. The dream has already happened. And sometimes, that's dangerous. Because hunger changes after success. The desperation disappears. The urgency fades. The emotional edge becomes weaker. In an elite sport, small differences decide everything. Messi isn't the only concern. Several heroes from 2022 will be older. Much older. The squad that conquered the world won't look the same. Some players may decline. Some may lose form. Some may not even make the squad. And replacing chemistry is difficult. People often underestimate chemistry. They focus on talent. But World Cups aren't won by talent alone. They're won by teams, connections, trust, understanding. Argentina had all of that in Qatar. Building it again won't be easy, especially when expectations are sky high. While Argentina gets older, everyone else gets stronger. And that's a huge problem. Think about the talent emerging around the world. France continues producing superstars. England's young generation is terrifying. Spain is rising fast. Portugal has unbelievable talent. Brazil is always dangerous. Then there are dark horses waiting to surprise everyone. The gap is shrinking. Every major nation has elite players. Every major nation believes this is their year. By 2026, football may be more competitive than ever. And that means one mistake can end everything. One bad game, one penalty miss, one red card, one moment. That's all it takes. Here's something football fans hate admitting. The best team doesn't always win. The best player doesn't always win. World Cups are chaotic. They're unpredictable. They're cruel. Think about legends who never lifted the trophy. Think about great teams that failed. Think about favorites that collapsed. Football history is full of heartbreak because tournaments don't reward reputation. They reward performance. For a few weeks. That's it. And at FIFA 2026, Argentina won't be judged by what happened in 2022. Nobody will care. They'll be judged by what they do in that moment. And that's terrifying. The biggest challenge isn't physical. It isn't tactical. It isn't even football. It's psychological. Because how do you top perfection? How do you surpass the greatest achievement of your career? You can't. The pressure becomes strange. You're chasing something you've already achieved. You're trying to recreate magic. And history rarely repeats itself. Messi knows this. Deep down, he understands it. Every tournament after a perfect ending feels different. Every match carries comparisons. Every moment is measured against greatness. And that burden is enormous. Let's imagine something. Argentina reaches the knockout stage. Messi plays well. The team fights hard. The dream is alive. Then they face a top nation. Maybe France. Maybe England. Maybe Spain. Maybe Brazil. The match is tight. 90 minutes. Extra time. Penalties. And suddenly, it's over. Just like that. No unforgettable. No repeat. No second miracle. Because that's how World Cups end for almost everyone. Not with celebration. With heartbreak. Only one team gets joy. Everyone else goes home. Even legends. Even champions. Even Messi. Now here's the twist. Maybe heartbreak isn't failure. Maybe we're looking at this the wrong way. Because think about where Messi started. A small boy in Argentina. Growth hormone problems. Doubters everywhere. A dream nobody believed possible. Then came the records. The Ballon d'Ors. The Champions Leagues. The goals. The assists. The magic. The Copa America. The World Cup. The immortality. What more can football possibly ask from one man? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's why FIFA 2026 is unique. For the first time in decades, Messi doesn't need to prove anything. Not to critics. Not to fans. Not to history. His legacy is already secure. The debate is already over for millions. Everything from this point forward is a bonus. The reason fans fear FIFA 2026 isn't because Argentina might lose. Teams lose. That happens. The real fear is something deeper. It's the fear of saying goodbye. Because for nearly 2 decades, football has had Messi. Every generation has its icon. And for many fans, Messi is theirs. When he leaves the World Cup stage, an era leaves with him. That's what hurts. That's what people don't want to face. Not defeat. Not elimination. Change. The realization that time moves forward. The realization that heroes grow older. The realization that even legends... So, will Messi win FIFA 2026? Maybe. Football has taught us never to doubt him. But the brutal reality nobody wants to hear is this. The odds are against him. Age is against him. History is against him. Pressure is against him. Competition is against him. And football itself is against him. Because football rarely gives perfect endings twice. Yet even if Messi's final World Cup ends in heartbreak, it won't change his story. It won't change his legacy. It won't change what he achieved in Qatar. Because some players win trophies. Some players win fans. But only a few players change football forever. Lionel Messi did exactly that. And whether FIFA 2026 ends with tears or one final miracle, the world will be watching. Because this might not just be Messi's last World Cup. It might be the final chapter of football's greatest story. And that's a reality nobody is ready to hear.